So when you have friends um, that know exactly what kind of painful, horrible situation that you may have gone through, and they do not stand up for you, they don't ask questions, um, none of the above. That's evil. Not only is it evil, but it's cruel, and it just shows you that those people were never your friends. They never cared about you. And I am happy that I realized who was my friends and who wasn't. The small group that I have now, I'm grateful for. They're encouraging. They're there for me. They check up on me. Um, and they continue to push me as a person to do better, to strive, to heal. For those that question and whether what happened was true or what was going on, I'll never talk to you ever again in life. um when you know that someone not only was cruel, but they were mean, they were nasty, they were disrespectful. And these type of people, if you're a friend to somebody and that your friend has been abused or disrespected, cheated on, and you're entertaining that, you are just as bad. You are just as toxic. You are just as cruel. There's something, it's not right. And I had to realize that, um, through the not the lack of empathy, um, and then apparently, yeah, I wasn't supposed to be upset. I wasn't supposed to be angry. Oh, I was lashing out and acting, this and that. And when you take a step back and really, just analyze, these people that were supposedly your friends or family, how they respond to what you have been through, they're not safe people. This one in particular person, I will never forget knowing exactly what that person was doing behind my back. Text message proof. And, this person never told me, and so then on the other end of the spectrum, to be having inappropriate conversations. And I really shouldn't have been as forgiving back then and forgiving and back then. And now that my mind is more clear, that person should have been cut off immediately. I tell you something, if somebody is married and you are supposed to be friends with that person and you are entertaining any kind of disrespectful conversation, pictures, knowing, that person has already been severely or mentally, abused or physically abused, you got a special place in hell for you, for doing something like that. And this particular person, yeah, I will never talk to them again. Just a snake, when you allow people in your home is a safe haven, and when you open that up and for people to disrespect you, and knowing that you already have trust issues and stuff like that, because this particular person had said to me, that, oh well, you already don't trust people. Very ignorant. I don't care what kind of education you have. There are some people, even if they have a high education, like this person, very ignorant. So anybody that entertains somebody that has hurt you or abused you, and they don't see anything wrong with it, you should never talk to them ever again in life. This person was given a chance, and to not see anything wrong with their behavior. Even when I cut off the friendship, they made a bunch of excuses. For other people that, stopped talking to me, pointed a finger, blamed me, and knowing what I went through was really hard, really messed up, very mentally abusive and physically abusive, very draining. I will never talk to them either. Even some of the people that made um, comments about, oh, well, you could find another spouse, or I could. I sure could. So, and, but their grief was always trumped my grief. I was grieving someone living, they were grieving someone that was no longer living. So their grief trumped my grief. So, if you get what I'm saying. So, I will never forget, just going through this journey, seeing how people really are. You got some people even in your circle that are haters, that are energy vampires, that are toxic. You might even have some narcissists in your friend groups, and you really have to evaluate that. They're not genuine. They're using you when nobody else is around, and I had to realize that. There are certain things that I will never do in a friendship again. Because you got to be careful with people. You really do. You have to protect yourself, your peace, your sanity. Who is around your spouse or whoever you're with. You have to protect, and you even have to know that your spouse could even be entertaining some of those inappropriate situations. So, from what I gather, it was not right for this person to do that. Neither one of them, neither my former spouse and this friend, was not appropriate at all. So, for me, it's still really funny that, you know, at the end of everything that this person has put me through, still to go run to the police after everything, and the like, the legal system and stuff like that, knowing that they were dead ass wrong. Most people would have reacted much worse than I reacted. But just so you know, it's not right. It's evil. It's disrespectful. And as I continue to heal, my eyes have greatly woken up, and um, I just see more than I did back then. So there are some people that don't really want to be your friend. There are some people that are jealous and envious of you no matter what. They can have much more than you and still could be jealous of you. And I will never be friends with people like that. I don't care how they feel about me now. I don't care what they say about me now. Go ahead, knock yourself out. You want to be friends with somebody that, would talk behind your back, tell you personal business, see, and didn't like you anyway. But go ahead, for me, it just shows, how people value friendship. So for the small group that I have now, I'm grateful for that. That are true friends, not a competition. And now that I think about it, I was in competition with, I know, one friend in particular, and I didn't realize that until everything was said and done. Very jealous, very toxic, very negative. And you could protect people, and they won't protect you in the end. So all of the arguments that my spouse and I had about this person, in the end, that wasn't even seen as, hey, I'm protecting my friendship and, protecting you. No, they don't see it that way. So when people do not have your back, that shows they don't care about you. That's the one thing that I have realized. Everything that I have been through, these people did not care about my mental well being. They did not care about my physical well being. And they damn sure were not friends. They switched the blame. They, blame shift, and, little nasty remarks, because their back was against the wall and I was calling them out left and right. I'll never apologize for that. Wrong is wrong. And I wouldn't be surprised if certain things even now, but you gotta be careful with people. And some people are very messy, and they'll do anything to hurt you. So just be mindful. If you know of something that anybody is doing to somebody else or whatever, don't sit there and act like you don't know. Don't, just sitting there and acting like you don't know is detrimental to anybody's mental health as well. And just be there for them. You may not know everything, but just listen. Don't push them away, and they might be having a rough day sometimes, and it just takes just to take a minute to listen. Not be nasty, and I'm so glad I chose to dismiss those friendships.